Pew, 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 pew. Hardcore Henry, released in 2015 and is directed by Ian Neischuler, who made his cinematic directorial debut with this film. And this film is starring Sharto Copley, Daniela Kozlowski, Haley Bennett, and Tim Roth shows up in this frickin' thing. And the reason why we're talking about Hardcore Henry today is because it was a PayPal recommendation from one of my longtime subscribers and contributors on this channel, Name the Stars, formerly known as Autumn Blood. Thank you so much for the recommendation. I meant to watch this film many years ago when it first came out, but I heard not really good things about it, so I put it off and never got around to watching it. But of course, since you made the recommendation, I'm here watching it for the first time, and you know what? This whole POV thing that I'm doing here is really driving me crazy. A man called Henry wakes up in a laboratory where a scientist called Estelle starts assembling some kick-ass prosthetic limbs and informing Henry that he has amnesia and is a badass assassin. However, evil bad guys and the evil person running the whole joint comes in an attempt to capture them, but Henry escapes the compound and meets up with the answer man known as Jimmy, who is willing to help Henry guide him on his journey to saving the woman he loves and taking out the bad guy. And really, this film does not exist without the amazing legendary video game James Bond GoldenEye for N64. It was groundbreaking, it's an awesome video game, and ever since then all we want is role-playing first-person shooter games like Grand Theft Auto and Call of Duty and Medal of Honor and all these other ones. I don't know, I'm not that well versed in video games, I'll be honest. But that's the concept behind this movie, right? It's taking that idea of first-person narrative and first-person shooter from a video game and doing it like a movie. The problem, though, is that you can tell the main thing, the main driving force behind this film is the concept. It is not the plot. It is not the character, and at many points it's not the CGI or cinematography. It's the idea of, oh, it's a first-person shooter, and that's cool. If I can give any piece of advice for any new movie viewers out there, film directors that obsess with the concept of their film more so than the plot, you're in for not the best time at the movies. Is this movie cool? Yeah, it definitely is. For the first, 10 minutes. But then all of a sudden, your brain kicks in and you realize, oh, the reason why I love playing first-person shooters in video games is because I'm controlling the first-person shooter. I'm going around and I'm shooting people, and I'm completing missions, and I'm climbing up buildings, and I'm doing the things. Whereas if I'm watching a movie of a first-person shooter, yes, I have the viewpoint of our character Henry, but I have no control over him. I'm just watching him do it through his eyes, and I'm sorry, that's not cool. Especially in an action movie, because you know what happens in an action movie? People fight, and they get knocked down, and pushed up against walls, and they do somersaults and flips and shit. But to the person watching it and doing the things, that doesn't look like great cinematography to me, and it's not very entertaining. Majority of the time, you're sitting there watching this movie going, whoa, okay, stop, stop, okay. Look that way. We move from one action set piece to the next action set piece, and my eyes, my brain gets so tired. Because I'm a fan of shaky cam. I like shaky cam movies. I think it brings a nice aesthetic and reality to the world that they're creating through this lens. I like shaky cam. But here, it's 100% completely constant. And I get motion sickness, I'm sorry. You can definitely tell this filmmaker has had a long career in directing music videos, because every scene, every fight scene has a techno beat and a techno piece behind it, and the punches and the kicks are all done to the sexy techno tune that he's chosen. But all of it is just set dressing. It is all just decor, and there's no substance to the cake that this movie is. The bad guy, villain, person is getting an army of cyborgs to take over the world, and he has telekinetic powers to stop you. Or, I don't know if it's ever explained. I don't think it is. If it is, I totally missed it, because I didn't care. But either he has, telekinetic powers, or he has the powers of, Magneto, and he's able to halt people. I don't know. There are many times where the villain shows up here, and he has our hero, Hardcore Henry, by the throat, and could easily just toss him off the side of a building, but he doesn't, and he's just like, henchmen, go! And it happens again, and again, and again, and again, making this villain the dumbest villain I have ever seen. He's an albino Tommy Wiseau, is the best description I can give for him. I did not hit her, it's not true, it's bullshit, I did not hit her, I did not. Oh, hello, Hardcore Henry. You're tearing me apart, Henry! Haley Bennett plays Estelle, who is... be honest, I feel bad saying this, but she's completely forgettable. She's here. Good for her. She got a paycheck. Awesome. The only one of note here is Sharlto Copley, who plays multiple versions of the same person because the scientist is able to put his conscience into other clones of himself, and they all have different accents, they all have personalities, they all have different characteristics. That's a lot of fun, and I like seeing the next person to come along, even though I'm still confused as to like what he's doing or why he's doing the thing. But it is fun to see an actor go from one person to the next. At one point he's singing Frank Sinatra in here because, you know, haha, you can. And then also Tim Roth shows up for, I'm not joking, I'd be shocked if it was more than 2 minutes. That's where the budget went for this movie. It's getting him to deliver just a couple of lines. Thank you, Tim. Here's all of our budget. Now we can go and make the rest of the movie. In my theater class, I teach my students about Aristotle's Poetics and how they were used to adjudicate theater back in old Greek times and art back in old Greek times. And back then, there were 6 different elements of drama that you needed for a play to be considered good, and they were listed as this in order of importance: plot, character, theme, diction, music, spectacle. Spectacle is the least important, but is still an important thing when it comes to performance art. This film is the definition of taking those 6 very important elements of drama and turning it 180 degrees. So all of a sudden we have spectacle. That's the most important thing. So the cool things. How can we make this thing look cool and seem cool to our audience? And then plot and characters, well, they're important. We'll get to that eventually. But the main thing we're looking at here, guys, is spectacle. So let's make this thing look cool. Is it the worst film I've ever seen? No, it isn't by far at all. It's just a misguided film. It's based on a cool concept that someone was like, hey, we've never had a first-person shooter film, like an entire film before. We should do that. We should be the first ones. And they made the film, and they realized, like, oh, okay, the reason why no one has made a POV film like this again for an action film is because this is the result. I've seen POV films before. Actually, I reviewed a film earlier this year called Enter the Void, which is all from the point of view of our character who dies, and he's this soul observing everything. And that was done very cinematically, and there was a story there. The POV storytelling kind of gets thrown out the window when you put it into an action setting where our character, our person's viewpoint, is shaking back and forth like this. Cool concept. You learn by doing what not to do next time, and you should never make another first-person shooter film like this again. I'm gonna give Hardcore Henry 1 out of 5 Blu-rays.
What? No!
Alright everyone, now because my favorite part of my video is where I randomly select which movie I'm going to be watching next, which I haven't done in a while because I've gotten so many PayPal recommendations, but I thought, you know what, this Friday, I want to do a random generator because I haven't done it in a while. So here we go, let's take a look. Mamma Mia! Yay. Actually, I think I have. Yep, it's right here. Yay. Mamma Mia, it is a spicy meatball. The only reason why I purchased this movie is because my students, for their movie evaluation assignment that they have every semester, majority of them choose this movie to watch because they're not theater people, and a lot of them aren't even movie buffs. But, like, the one movie that all of them have seen and have loved is this movie. I have not seen it, though. I bought it to eventually get around to watching it. I hope it's going to be like a Pitch Perfect thing for me, where I tried putting off watching Pitch Perfect forever because it was canned singing, and I hate canned singing. And I was like, how could this possibly be good? I'm a snob when it comes to voices, so I'm going to be annoyed with their voices. I'm going to be annoyed with the music. I'm going to hate it, and I absolutely love Pitch Perfect. Maybe this film will be that? Probably not. So guys, if you've seen Hardcore Henry, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across it because of this video, then comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you the next time I release my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time with my review of Mamma Mia. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.